So our next game is going to be between Seryen, yellow and orange Zerg, and omfglolwtf. I'm not sure how to pronounce him. I'm guessing Seryen told me he's in master, so I'm guessing he's a Smurf account. So let's see what Seryen is going to show us. The map is Metalopolis. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sick of this map. Last time when I casted, I had like 5 games in a row on Metalopolis. So I will call him what the fuck, or just so back to the game. Seryen he really likes the macro game. He should go actually for a fast hatchery before the spawning pool. This is how he usually plays. He's a member of the Romanian team named Almost Level 2. You can check them at almostlevel2.net. And about the Protoss player, as I've said, I really have no information. Seryen told me he's from Master League, so let's see what he can prepare for us. And let's hope Seryen will not underestimate his opponent. He's doing a good job scouting with this probe, and he's going to go for a fast hatchery. There it is, and after that, of course, a spawning pool. But the question is he going to go for fast speed or not? And yes, it seems that he's going to go for a fast Zerling speed. Now back on the Protoss player, he seems at least that he knows how to do a wall. He will place a Zealot over here, so he will be protected by a 6-pool or other kind of fast Zerlings until a sentry comes out. And he's mining only from one guess, and let's see what he's going to do. He's still scouting with the probe, moving around. And the reason why I said I don't really like this map is for once I've seen it way too many times. This map and Selnaga Caverns. And after that people say it's the most balanced map, but it's not really, because it will all matter to the spawning position. If it's cross position, it's good for the Zerg. If it's close position, usually it's not good for the Zerg, because usually the players really like to put early pressure on. So this is why. We already have 2 Zerlings that probably are going to go for the Selnaga tower. And let's see what the Protoss player is going to do. We have 2 gates, and I don't think he will go for a 4 gate. He's not chrono boosting the warp gates. He's doing the chrono boost on the probes. He's also mining from the assimilator, and he should really build a pylon soon, because he will be supply blocked. And yeah, waiting for the game to kick in. Pylon almost supply blocked, and ooh, the Zerlings are in. They are not going to do any damage anyway, but they are scouting, so this is something that always the Zerg wants, and it's pretty hard to do as a Zerg. You always have to sacrifice an overlord and so on. As you can see, he even moved the Zerlings over this area where the Protoss player, even Terran players, really like to hide buildings. But nothing special. So after scouting, Seryen decided to drone up. We have 5 drones on the way, and also the Protoss player is taking a Nexus. Seryen is going to go for the second extractor. 2 queens already putting down creep. This would be pretty vital, especially on cross position. The Zerg player really needs to have as much creep spread as possible. And there you have a Roach Warren and 10 Zerlings. And what are these queens doing? This was a pretty big misclick because this queen is supposed to be here and inject larva. He upgraded to a lair. He decided to build a lair on the expansion. It's a pretty good choice, but it will all depend on how. If he's going to lose, this expansion is going to be pretty vital, because you're also going to lose your lair, but it's going to be even harder to lose. While also on TVZ, usually the Terran player scans inside your base, and if he sees that you don't have a lair, he will probably do other stuff. Of course, a good player will always suspect that you build your lair on your expansion, where you have injected larva. Back onto the Zerg, we have a robotics facility built in a pretty interesting position. We have another gateway, so we are going to have a total of 4 gateways and a robotics facility. And there we have another reason. Now this overlord is not going to scout anything, because he already knows about those gates, and he didn't even see too much, so he will be forced to sacrifice another Zerling. There we have the warp gates are now completed, and we have robotics bay. So he's going to go for Colossus. But the good thing is that Seryen is going for roaches, and Hydras also, so he's going to go for the combo of Roach Hydra, pretty popular build. Already upgrading to the range for Hydras and speed for roaches. Now it will all depend on. He will need that Spire to deal with the Colossus. And other than that, because the Colossus are killing Hydras with no problems, they just melt under the Colossus. And there we are going to have an Overseer that's going to scout. Probably, or I think he's expecting Dark Templars. This is why he built an Overseer. Good timing on the third base, and the Spire is now building, so he anticipates a Colossus. And there we have scouting with 2 Zerlings. Let's check the APM of the player. Seryen being on top. Income wise, 61 drones for Seryen, 53 probes for OMFG. We also have a Stargate. So, if he's going to go for Void Race, it's going to be pretty hard for the Zerg. And there we have Void Race. And the reason for that, Zerg response to the Colossus is going to be Corruptors, and the Void Race are doing an awesome job versus the Corruptors. Seryen upgrading to armor and level 2 missile attacks. This is always good to have. Let's see the upgrades of the Protoss. 0-0. I don't think he even has a forge. So Seryen also taking his 4th base. Nice creep spread. We have his spreading the creep with 2 creep tumors. The layer is completed. Of course, we have an infestation pit and Spire level 1, and we have a Corruptor. Did he saw the... No, he didn't saw the robotics bay, but it's pretty easy to guess that the Protoss player is going to go for that. He already has 6 Corruptors out, and he's also pumping up some Hydras. Scouting probe, he sees the expansion. An interesting pylon placement. He will be able to warp in zealots over here when this base is going to be populated. Also 15 roaches on the way, and the Zerg might push soon. I'm not sure. 2 Colossus queued up already. Whoa. 3 Colossus out. Third base for the Protoss is now done. Another Overseer. He will scout probably with this one. And the Protoss player is continuing to produce Void Rays, which is a good thing. He has 3, he will have 4. This one is even chrono boosted. And the Protoss player is almost maxed out right now. Let's see on the Zerg player, same. He's even upgrading to armor level 2 and the hive. There we have it, almost done. And finally saw movement on the field. Kill the pylon, kill the pylon. And the Protoss is moving out. Seryen also placing an Ultra Escavan. The Corruptors are coming in. Yeah, I forgot to disable the hit points bars, but never mind. 1 Colossus got down, and it's not looking good for the Zerg player with that force field. He's finally now able to come with some army, and he lost all of his Corruptors, and this is not looking good for our Zerg. 33 roaches on the way, and Ultra Escavan is almost done, but I don't think he's going to have the gas for it. And selected. This is how it is. And the Protoss player is still almost maxed out. He even has 2 more Corruptors, Colossus on the way. And now all this creep is going to be killed by this, because usually the Protoss player has an observer in the base, and there we also have 4 stalkers warped out. And there we have a nice concave by Seryen. It is going to be pretty good because almost all the roaches are firing, but the Colossus on the high ground, they are going to do a pretty awesome job. There are also the Void Rays are charged up. At least Seryen did a good job. The Protoss player is only having some Corruptors and some Void Rays, and the Protoss player lost all his army. He still has minerals to warp in more zealots, actually no gas. And let's see Seryen's response, the roaches still, and he's also upgrading the Ultralisk armor. He's going to lose this base, but at least he has more minerals. Let's see right now how he's going to handle this. Is he going to counterattack into the Protoss base, forcing him to retreat? I think so. But again, the Void Rays and the Colossus are a pretty fierce army. Protoss player expanding over here. He's going to take down the 3rd expansion of, at least he's going to try. Building 5 more Corruptors. Two more Colossus on the way for the Protoss player. This is pretty hard for the Zerg to deal with. He doesn't have enough gas for those Ultralisks, so this is pretty hard for him to deal with. See, and the Protoss has the army already done. Even the Corruptors can't even do any damage. He lost 2 of them. The 4th base is almost complete right now. Finally, he has a forge. No upgrades, while the Zerg player is sitting at 2-0 for air. And there we have another fight. The Zerlings instantly died to the Colossus. And the Corruptors are... okay, they shot 1 Colossus. But still the Zerg player can't do too much to this army. He already killed it once. Some Colossus are still alive. 34 kills for this Colossus. And this is not looking good. He's saving some gas. Let's see how much Hydra Ultra is costing. 200, but he can't actually produce. Oh man, look how many Void Rays there are. He's even securing this fourth base. More gateways for the Zerg, for the Protoss, and as I've said, this is not really looking good for the Zerg player. Let's check the upgrades. As I've said, 2-0 for air, 1-2 for Zerlings, and 3-2 for Roaches and Hydras. So the Zerg player is sitting very well with the upgrades. The Protoss player has no upgrades at all. And now even the creep is more killed, destroyed. He can't take his expansions because the Protoss player. Right now the Zerg can't really engage. He has a nice number of Corruptors. But again, Corruptors with Void Rays. Oh, let's check down the units count. 9 Void Rays, 5 Colossus, 29 Stalkers. And finally engage on a small engagement. The Zerlings instantly died. The Corruptors, there are still 5 Colossus out. Corruptor seems to do a decent job. I don't see, unfortunately, I don't see the corruption ability on the Colossus. And there's the GG.